iron in their soul. What's up, YouTube? This is Iron and Soul, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about my content. Also, for those of you who are new to my channel, follow me over on Instagram as well, The King Jabez. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, let's do some work. Let's talk about a post I saw on Instagram today on NBA Youngboy's page. And he's on a rooftop to looks like in a very expensive house, which is no surprise for NBA Youngboy. He's a very wealthy rapper. And he starts off by saying, "Stop the violence." You know what I mean? And look at me. And he has a smile on his face, and you don't have to do those things anymore. And somebody's recording him. And, you know, it's a good message. You want the violence to stop in the ghettos. I'll start there in New Orleans, Chicago, LA, New York City, and various cities that I can't even think about right now. You know, Toronto, over in the UK for that matter, all over the world, there is an issue with gun violence. So you know that definitely Iron and Soul wouldn't have a problem with a campaign to stop that. However, I gotta kind of wonder, what's the motive? You know, you think about NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk, FYB Maine from Chicago, and some other rappers that are known for gangster rap, promoting killings and shootings and whatnot and murder. And all of a sudden they switch gears. So I would like to hope that, or think rather, I would like to believe, right, that they just had a change of heart and this is a good motive. But I'm a critical thinker, and I'm thinking there's something else here to this. You know how I come, and now some of you, you're not gonna like this message. It's like, okay, Iron, you're judgmental. Why would you say this? You know, again, I wish their motive was well, and maybe it is a good motive to a degree. But I feel like the people who are over them, the higher ups, the ones who are over these labels, they have a new agenda with hip hop. And that new agenda is pretty obvious based on who's getting promoted right now, who is getting elevated, you know, the newfound appreciation for female MCs, right? We've always had women rappers. You had, back in the days, Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Salt and Pepper, Lauryn Hill, who's one of the best of all time in my humble opinion. And also nothing wrong with women rapping, but it's what they're rapping about and the sudden interest in that on a new level. And it seems to be happening simultaneously with the death of all these very popular male rappers, such as XXXTentacion. I can name probably 23rd, but we won't go through all that. XXXTentacion, PNB Rock, King Von, you know, you think about FBG Duck, and then so many others who are in prison for potential RICO cases with the feds. And you got all these known rappers who are in prison for potentially for a long time, depending on what happens. And then you have two very high-profile rappers who beat some very serious charges, and one being Lil Durk and one being NBA Youngboy. And after they beat these charges, what do they now promote? Stop the violence. Everybody group hug now. And let's act as if we have not spent the last 5-10 years stirring the pot. You know what I mean? In fact, when FBG Duck died, Durk made a song called "Shoulda Ducked." You know, constantly adding fuel to the fire in the city. It says, without me, there are no guns and shot rackets, and all of this crazy stuff. And looking at what has happened, and just the death to follow the Durk. You know, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just keeping it all the way 1,000, which I know some of you Durk fans never like this, but you know, Durk is doing some dark stuff. Durk probably is practicing voodoo and witchcraft. Many people have died around him, and it makes you wonder what's to this young man. You know what I mean? Everybody around him dies. His cousin Newski. You think about Vaughn, his manager, I think who was also his relative. You know what I mean? His brother. You know what I mean? And just, it's like all the guys, and probably some other black disciples that I can't mention, I can't think of their names right now, that were close to Durk and ended up losing their lives. And so all of a sudden now, after all that death and all that stirring the pot, almost like he was like this invisible voodoo doll in Chicago. I know you don't like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it all the way 1,000 with you. He's like this real life voodoo doll. Just surrounded by death and trouble. And he kept escaping for whatever reason. And I think it's because he's doing something secretly with Satan in private, you dig? I did my message about voodoo and witchcraft and ancestral worship. And I'm not taking that back. I've done my research. And listen, guys, there's a lot of that going on in the industry. A lot of these guys are doing voodoo. You know, don't get mad. You know, if you're listening, know what you listen to. They're doing witchcraft. They're casting spells. They're doing a lot of crazy stuff, bro. It ain't just a beat and rap. So to be so deeply rooted in all of that, and to just all of a sudden out of nowhere, stop the violence. That's what Youngboy said. Stop the violence. With a smile on his face. And same thing with Durk. And again, that's a great message, but a critical thinker will be wondering why. And the why to me is so obvious. The hip hop leaders have a new agenda. Hip hop is a very powerful sound of the earth. It has the power to influence the minds of young men and young women. Young men and young women hear rap songs that are popular and they are locked in. The rap music can dictate what they wear. It can dictate what is popular in terms of clothing brands. It can dictate what type of shoes people wear. It kind of creates a culture in terms of how to treat people, how to view women, how to view guys, how to view men. You dig what I'm saying? So it's really something that, you know, has a lot of weight, or the word we use, a lot of clout when it comes to the young generation. And so there are people in secret, you know, and when you say who people are, you bring trouble your way, but they know who they are. You know what I mean? These people in secret, these so-called people of God, which are not people of God, just to be keep it all the way 1,000. These devils, honestly, these devils who are really demonized men, doing all type of weird, creepy stuff. I mean, talking about creepy stuff, you know, all type of human sacrifice and messing around with kids, killing people, laundering money. It's a very dark world. I mean, so dark. If we were able to see it, it would blow our minds. And that's just a few things I'm mentioning. You know, this again, if you want to get iron, we come up with all this from. This comes from years of studying the secret societies, the Masons, the Illuminati, and all the documented videos, articles that you can read very easily online. You know, there's too many of those stories for it to be a coincidence. And an OG once told me this, and I'm going to stand on this. Where there is smoke, there's fire somewhere. When you have a lot of smoke, there's fire somewhere. And guess what? You think about the Illuminati, the secret society, and the music industry, with the rappers, pop stars. It ain't just rap music, it's pop music too, R&B music too. They're all guilty. They ain't just the rappers, by the way, because we like to pick on the rappers. It's all of them. But I'm talking about rap in this particular context, because this is what this story concerns. All the stuff that's involved with all of this, it is too much smoke for it to be a coincidence. So with all of that smoke, there's a fire somewhere, right? That's what logic tells you. That's what discernment tells you. And I'm going to go a step further than all of that. That's what the Most High has told me through my time in prayer, revelation. I believe in prayer in the spirit. I believe in groans in the spirit, meditation. And so thinking, very deeply about this. And just even on the level of who Lucifer is. Let's talk about Lucifer for a second. There seems to be something about masculinity that offends Lucifer. I'm convinced of that because he has such a strong agenda to feminize men. You know, you read the Bible and just, you know, the scripture says it clearly that the glory of God is the man. And so we saw it even last year with the NBA players. You know, you started seeing how they were starting to dress different, starting to act different. You know what I mean? And DMX saw the play coming. He kind of warned us in one of his songs. What did DMX say? Rest in peace to the OG. They want me to talk like this and dress like that. But no, I want to talk like this and dress like that. The dog gave us a warning. Rest in peace to the dog, DMX. He told us what time it was. And that's why he going to, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it all the way at 1,000 with you. We know what time it is out here, man. Honest, so anybody playing no games with me, Kings and Biz, ducking goofies and fairs, you know what I'm saying? All of that. That's how we coming. Hard body. Angel of light. That's what Lucifer is referred to in 2 Corinthians 11:14. And so he likes to hide behind flamboyance, jewelry. You know what I mean? And just, you know, look at what guys are doing right now. We got guys now painting their nails. Some of you guys watching me get your nails painted right now, and you mad at me. Get your nails painted right now. You dig? Tucking your tummy. You understand? Getting BBLs. We talking about men. Whole men's. Out here getting their tummies tucked, painting their nails. Got dresses on. I mean, y'all out here, man, just wilding. You hear me? And I'm amazed with it more and more day by day, man. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? And that's their agenda, my boy. That's obvious. They had an agenda back in the 90s to use rap music to push a gangster image that would motivate many urban youth, black males, Latino males, to get into gangs, to shoot people. And I'm not saying rappers are the only problem. Obviously, I know a lot more about this than the average person. There are a lot of facts created together that have nothing to do with rap. So let me give you that list real quick if you're offended by that. Mass incarceration, gentrification, housing discrimination, you know what I mean, poorly funded schools, dads not at home, and we know why they not at home. Sometimes the mama got welfare, you know what I'm saying, and other reasons for that. So there are 1,000 reasons why the ghetto's the way it is. Let me put that out there. I know that. I'm not stupid. You understand? I'm very thoroughly educated in what creates the ghetto. You dig? And so, aside from all of that, rap is kind of used as like the gasoline. There's already a fire there that's been created by black people as well as white supremacists. It's a combination, you know what I'm saying? What creates the ghetto is two things, you know what I'm saying? White supremacy, you know what I'm saying? And black cruelty. The cruelty, hatred we have for one another, and white supremacy is a 1-2 punch that destroys most black communities. You understand? So with all that, they had a meeting in the 90s. And Crazy Bone has talked about this online. You can probably Google it right now. In my best Deontay Wilder voice, go Google it. You can Google it right now. And he talks about how there was a meeting, a private meeting, and they were told by people in power, we want you to promote this. And this meaning a crime element, violence, guns, murder, because by doing that, more young black men will get locked up. That was the agenda the plan was put into place in the 90s, and that has been in order, that has been rotating on that type of time since that time, from 90s to now in 2022. But what I'm seeing now, as, you know what I mean, a person who's been around for a while, you know what I'm saying, what you guys would consider an OG, young OG, big iron, you dig. I see it right on the wall, my man. They got a new agenda with you guys. And I think you guys see it. Some of you guys are sending me messages over on IG. You know what time it is out here, man. You're not slow. You guys are very smart. You know exactly what's going on out here. You understand me? So there is a new agenda that's being pushed through hip hop, and they're using their top ones, Youngboy, Durk, to say stop the violence, stop being a gangster. Why all of a sudden now the people who pushed that for 20 years now want you to stop? And this is not just a pick on Durk and Youngboy, because Durk and Youngboy, no offense, are just the puppets who do what they told. The real problem really ain't really them as much as it is people behind them. Let's just keep that all the way 1,000. You dig? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The real problem is the wicked men who are behind them, pushing whatever they got going on. But that being said, this is what's happening right now. They are changing the motive for a reason. I say this as a man who has concern for next generation, as a man, as a person, as a human in my 30s, and more particular as a black man in America, who has really seen a game unfold from so many directions. You know what I mean? We talking in the 80s and 90s, 2010s, 2000s. Just seeing the agenda and how they continue to puppeteer young black America is really unfortunate. I feel a level of concern for the next generation, because you know what? A lot of you just don't know any better. And this is not even a condemnation. The truth of the matter is your brain is not even fully developed until you're a certain age. I think it's about 25, mid-20s. And so it's not they know what they're doing. They're taking people who are not even fully capable of making these decisions yet, and they're forcing this agenda upon you. So it's really unfortunate. I feel bad for Youngboy personally. You know, this is my opinion. I feel like he really was bullied in private. You know what I mean? He made a decision to do whatever he did. But I got a lot of discernment. There was a lot of bullying behind the doors. You know what I mean? I'll put it that way. And not that I've seen that, of course, but, you know, I follow the music industry. I'll watch a lot of interviews, documentaries, study. I read a lot about this. And so I'm not talking from my backside. You know, I think he's went through a level of torment, a level of bullying. And I think at first he really didn't want to do it. He really didn't. And I think they really just put the clamps down on him. And he might have been told, this is just my opinion now, he might have been told, hey, if you don't do this, you're going to jail for that Fed case. You know what I mean? Because let's be real, let's keep it a buck. You don't beat Fed cases. You know what I mean? That don't happen. You know what I mean? And so what's understood needs not to be explained. And so as we see this new movement that Durk and Youngboy tried to start, and stopping the violence. Of course, you know, as an OG, I'm with that, and you know that. But I had to use some common sense and wisdom and think, okay, what's truly the motive behind this? And I've already discussed pretty thoroughly what I think that is. So that's just a few thoughts for today, guys. You know what I mean? I'm sure I'll revisit this. I'm sure it's more, you know, this is new. As it unfolds more and more day by day, I'll have more layers to add to this conversation. Thank you guys for listening. This is your brother Iron and Soul. Take care. God bless. Peace.